Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to, with apologies to Alex Rogan, what is probably the greatest Starship battle ever played, at least surely in War Thunder. So this is a subscriber replay sent to one of my squadron members, Mark One Raven. He was playing with another one of my squadron members. You may have heard of him. His name is Biplane Bully. He's the last two replays that I've featured on my channel were from Biplane Bully, so he's not the subject of this one, but he is actually in the battle. So this battle takes a little bit to get started, so we'll trim a bit of the dead spot at the beginning, but once it gets going, it gets pretty good. So up front, to cover the question that I expect will be asked, in order for me to feature one of your replays, you need to be a member of my Discord. Check the description in the video. And you need to have permissions and then follow the rules in the Discord. That's how you're gonna get your replay ever featured. And I don't make any guarantees that I'm going to feature it, because this is generally a few and far between thing. Obviously this is the third one in the last few weeks, but most of the time I don't do that many. So he's posted up here in a pretty good spot watching the initial enemy approach. And just like always, watch how long he waits here with nothing happening, and watch what happens the instant he looks away to somewhere else. Yep. Perfect. So I don't think that if he'd have been primarily loaded with the ATGMs that they would have made any difference there. As opposed to the heat rounds. They're both heat warheads, so I really don't think that the ATGM would have done him any good. At least the heat rounds have a predictable flight path, whereas the ATGMs sometimes come out of the barrel sideways or drop down or do kinds of goofy little things that you can accidentally hit terrain and pre-detonate the thing, or just miss your target altogether by overcorrecting. So as it turns out, he gets his first assist here on that Leopard 1. And that's a pretty good start. Now, skipping forward a bit to over a bit of non-action, he moves up to take a peek at the enemy predictable sniper position. And lo and behold, it doesn't take long before he spots an enemy hiding up there. Tasty little target, but unfortunately he dropped his heat round probably 10 to 15 meters short, I think. It was not very short at all. I thought the shot was going to be just fine myself when I was watching it. But, alas, just short. Gets it reloaded, and a little bit of searching brings up a Leopard. The M41 has been destroyed in the meantime, and that shot also falls a little bit short, so at this point, he does what I would have also done, which is switch over to the ATGM, that at least you know the ATGM's not going to fall short. It's going to fly on what should be its guidance line until it actually impacts with the target, so. And impact its target it does. So there's kill number 1 for the battle to go along with an assist, and the team is doing all right. This is one of those maps where you can be down 1 capture point for a fair amount of the battle and still affect a comeback, but it does get tricky. You really need to be able to control at least one entire side of the map to be able to push in from the sides to take the capture points back. Otherwise, you're gonna have trouble coming back. In the meantime, nice little shot on the JPZ-45 there. And then this BMP-1 doesn't quite see him, doesn't get any shots at him, and unfortunately he's still reloading. He did get some good damage in with his 50 cal. Gets another assist from the JPZ. And then, like any good hunter, moves up in search of his wounded prey, the BMP-1. Cautiously moving up like a cagey old lion. Not bad. Very, very intelligent to do in any M60. None of them are particularly fast, so you don't want to get caught out in the open. So, a couple more enemies approaching. And you can see some movement off to the right. There he is. Good night, sweet prince. Hull broke in the back. Good thing he hit those periscopes for the carried infantry inside. Definitely a critical component for the hull break there. That's one thing that I personally love the most about hull break, is its logical consistency. So you can just see an enemy sneaking up over there on the right now, or on the left rather. Now watch this. This is, I couldn't believe how he could possibly not have been killed by the Centauro, except the Centauro shot at the M103 instead, and then he himself got appropriately hull broken by the Starship. So that's probably the closest that Raven came to his battle ending very quickly there. Now this shot right here, somehow he didn't take any really serious damage besides losing the commander. Well, he lost the gunner, rather, and then the commander replaces him. But I figured out why the delay happens so long in the crew announcement of who's been knocked out and who isn't. When you lose your gunner and another crew member is going to replace him, or your driver, the crew member that moves into that position, that's the announcement that you get. Like right there, if you rewind it and look, you'll notice that he lost his gunner, and then the tank commander took over the gunner seat, and the announcement was, we've lost the commander, or commander's been knocked out. Because that's the crew member that you ended up with missing. Now, while I think that's a good change that Gaijin made in that situation, letting you know which crew member you've actually lost, I don't know why it's not something they put in a change note or something somewhere. Like, why is that not in the patch notes? That's a cool thing, but let us know, because otherwise it makes it seem like there's been a super long delay and there's something goofy with the audio, but it's actually, it's functioning correctly. They just didn't tell us why they made that change. Anyways, 4 kills and 2 assists later, here we are holding on to the A point. This battle's far from over, but it's not looking good for our boys in blue here, that's for sure. Or, for that matter, for our boys in green. Now, you may notice they're using their squad scouting to help each other point out where targets are. It's very important that you do that, even with a random squad mate, much less someone from your actual squadron. Now this, I cannot believe that wasn't a kill with that shot there. I know it's regular heat and not heat FS, but still, that should have detonated the ammo, if not just outright destroyed that 4-5, but either way. That ricochet, that non-pen killed him, though. So this time, because the gunner's been knocked out, it says the gunner's been knocked out instead of waiting till the loader replaces him. So I don't know. Again, the logical consistencies here. Nice kill on that OF-40. I thought that OF-40 was going to end him for sure, but he got a really good shot in there. And there's the 6th kill, and now the reloads are going to be a little bit slow as the loader is switching over to become the gunner. But luckily for him, he's very practiced on loading since he was the loader until just a couple minutes ago, so you'd think if the loader moves over to be the gunner that the reload speed would be slightly faster than if just the loader gets knocked out and the gunner has to take over and load his own gun. But, you know, that's a level of depth and detail we haven't quite gotten to yet in War Thunder, and honestly, I'm okay with that. They've got more important things to worry about. At any rate, speaking of more important things to worry about, there's some targets there. Now, for some reason, there was no indication of a shot on the screen, but he did fire and got a good hit on that Leopard. Now, he also definitely benefited from having a squad mate and a heavy tank who was able to draw attention from the enemy team while he's reloading, because he certainly would have been rushed and overrun by Leopards if not. Nice little ATGM shot right into a 103, one of the best places you can hit one. Although it should deflect downwards, it didn't, and that's kill number 7. Now you'll notice he's got 1 ATGM left, and it's loading into the breach right now. There we go. Loaded up and ready. There's so many targets in front of him here. There's a very likely looking juicy target with another target behind him, so we gotta play this one carefully. Nice ATGM shot right through the trees there. And here is where there's a slight glitch in the replay, because it shows he's got no more weapons left, but that's not actually true. He's got at least 1 ATGM left. And the only reason I know this is because I've already watched through this, and he gets another shot off here. So there's quite a bit of time here where he's looking for the best possible shot to take with the last ATGM he has left. So we'll skip a bit if it takes too long and just get to the shot. There we go. Pretty good hit into the Whirlwind. Unfortunately, not a kill. But now he is really and truly out of any kind of rounds for the main gun, and without a 50 cal to finish off the Whirlwind. Best option here is dump off some smoke and retreat back to the point that they're holding and retake it. Now you'll notice that his team has finally moved out of the Heartbreak Hotel and actually engaged on the other capture points after taking their sweet time about it, while Bully, Biplane, and Raven over here were locking down the A side and taking up a lot of the enemy's attention. His team really didn't take advantage of that until far, far late in the game, but they did eventually move out and start challenging at both Bravo and Charlie, and that made a big difference in the outcome of the battle. So, timeliness on the new crew member joining the tank, and a little bit of ammunition being re-added and being put into the breach, because otherwise that Leopard 1 probably would have eaten him for lunch. As it is, that Leopard 1 becomes kill number 9. And with a few rounds back in the tank, time to push forward and rejoin the battle. So something else you should always make sure you try to accomplish with any squad mate you have is helping them repair when you're able to do so, and in this case, pretty easy. Down in a little bit of recessed cover and no enemy fire coming in, definitely easy repair for your squad mate there. And we've got a Panther spotted through the trees. Can we hit him? That's a good question. Through all those trees with heat rounds, it's going to be tricky. But the answer is yes. He threaded a heat shot through there pretty well, actually. Now, I don't know if the ATGM would have done any more damage just from the speed of impact. I honestly don't think it would have. But at any rate, the Panther was able to back away, and then the follow-up heat shot, unfortunately, catches a tree branch and detonates because heat round, I guess. But a T-114 comes in and hands him his 4th assist of the battle after the Whirlwind had also become an assist. And luckily, the Sergeant Bjork took a heat round to the turret and hull broke, and there's the double ace battle. Quite well done, and still not finished. Now the team has got the ticket bleed going in their favor, and while they've still got some ground to make up with the ticket bleed, it's looking a lot better with the team layouts on the map here. Especially once they start decapping Charlie, now it's looking real good. And when you can't spot any enemies back in the spawn, it's probably looking pretty good for your team at this point. Somebody called artillery, so there are definitely enemies. And oh my god, what the hell? Oh, I see. Unfortunately, without a 50 cal, we can't do much here, but he gets pretty good hits on this thing with the 30. You can see them pinging off of it, but unfortunately, Just not quite enough to do any serious damage. And then what better way to finish off a battle in a tank than by having your 11th and final kill on an aircraft, which then crashes into the ground right in front of you and makes a pretty, I mean, relatively speaking, because it's a video game, a pretty picturesque explosion, if I do say so myself. And all that's left now is just tallying up the scores. Well done, Raven. Nice battle. Nice battle by Biplane Bully as well for staying alive and giving the enemy something else to shoot at. But there you go. As you can see, 10 tank kills, 1 airplane kill, 4 assists, and a victory. That's a pretty good battle right there. So here is the end result screen. Pretty tasty on the research, and without having premium, that's pretty good battle results right there. Even finished off a modification for the old Starship. And there is the team results. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care out there, everybody. Good luck to all of you who might do something crazy, like try to play the M60A2 Starship. And thanks very much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care out there, everyone. Be safe.